Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Dom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. Another Monday in the books, my friends. We are chilling. I hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's Gucci. But we have some business to attend to, my friends. Like I said, hope everybody's week is good. I hope everything has been well. But I'm your host, Dom Slays, and this is episode 254 of the Music Mondays podcast. So, per usual, we're going to go over some weekly recap jazz. We're going to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. And then we're going to do some community feedback because we haven't done one for December yet. And then we have some reactions and reviews. So let's get down to business, my friends. Let's get down to business. So, per usual, your weekly recap stuff is as follows. Let's dive into that real quick. Per usual, Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock right now. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges. And $20 flat shipping, of course, United States only, unless you want to go crazy on the shipping cost, but that's why we didn't ship to EU or anything, just because that can definitely get expensive, for sure. But again, we still have smalls, mediums, and larges, so again, contact us if you'd like to purchase one of those, for sure. Let's see here. Every Tuesday following a live show, we do have early access Patreon content. So again, if you missed the show and you want to go watch the full high quality version over there on Patreon, that is available every single Tuesday following the live show. So definitely go check that out. And then of course, submissions open for the following Music Mondays podcast every single Tuesday. So again, submissions will be live for episode 255 tomorrow, December 9th. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Make sure you follow us on socials to stay up to date. Let's see. So, heading into Wednesday, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. So again, make sure you follow us on socials and stay up to date with all of our latest submissions and playlists and everything like that. And then, of course, we cap off Wednesday with some Music Mondays audio podcast promo every single Wednesday night. So again, make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that as well. And again, those do go live every single Wednesday. Let's see. That was Wednesday. Heading into Thursday, Curing Cases of the Monday submissions are open. YouTube upload is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. I just kind of break down Curing Cases of the Mondays and give you guys some dates and details and things like that. So if you missed that segment last week here on the show, that is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And again, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We do upload 2 times per week, every single Thursday and every single Saturday. Let's see here. So, heading deeper into Thursday, episode 253 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on all audio platforms. Those do drop on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and all that good jazz every single Thursday. So, huge shout out to everybody that submitted and tuned in to episode 253. That is available everywhere. So that was Thursday. Heading into Friday, a brand new article is live by me. Just a quick recap on a few winter things that is available right now on the Music Mondays website. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. That was Friday. And then we also had January 2025 Music Mondays Patreon appreciation. That is available right now on all social media as well. So definitely go show that some love, and huge shout out to all of our current Music Mondays Patreons. Still getting a lot of those older ones out for like 2025, so you'll see those go up periodically as well. Let's see. So that was Friday. Heading into Saturday, episode 253 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. That does drop every single Saturday. So if you prefer the YouTube version, definitely go check that out and go show that some love. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like I always say. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted and tuned in to episode 253. That was a killer episode back, by the way. I think we had like 16 plus submissions, like a 3-hour show. It was really good. It was really good, especially like after a break, right? Well, let's see. So that was Saturday. Heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 216 is available right now on the Music Monday SoundCloud. That was curated by me, and the cover art was done by me as well. So definitely go check that out. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted to SoundCloud Sunday. You guys are amazing. 216 volumes, man. That's killer. 216 volumes is fucking killer. So Shout out to anybody that's submitting or supporting SoundCloud Sunday. And again, make sure you share it with your mutuals, share it with your friends. Make sure you put people on to good underground music. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, go check out Volume 216. That takes us to today, Monday, actually, December 8th, 2025. So here we are. We are chilling. That was your weekly recap. That's pretty much everything crazy that happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so that you need to know about. We got Ghost in the chat. Let's fucking get it. Welcome on in, Ghost. Happy Monday. I hope you're well. How are things, my friend? But yes, solid week. Solid week for sure. So that's weekly recap stuff. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. So, per usual, we're dealing with a lot of Curing Case of the Mondays album stuff, and submissions do close this Friday, actually, December 12th. So, again, make sure you get your tracks in and all that good stuff. And I'll be updating everybody who gets accepted and things like that. So, submissions do close this Friday. So, again, make sure you get your tracks in for that. And then, of course, the album will drop the following Friday on the 19th. So, that's that. That's pretty much a lot of the major stuff that's happening here at Music Mondays when it comes down to like what's going on, because after the album stuff, we're gonna go directly into the Music Mondays awards, actually. So that'll be fun. Still talking some nominees and things like that with the Music Mondays staff, but should be a relatively good year for that as well. So those two big things are coming up, and then a little bit more of like a social media revamp. So again, obviously logo staying the same, but we're gonna refresh things, probably a new intro for the stream and things like that. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. So yeah, those big three things are happening before 2026, and of course some like website updates and things like that. And then of course your monthly and weekly content will be staying the same. So again, you guys don't have to worry about anything like that. But that's pretty much everything major that's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next couple of weeks, for sure. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, no, good. I'm good. Yep, another Monday in the books, my friend. We are chilling. We're chilling. Good vibes here. But let's see. So we did recap stuff. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk recruiting. So per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for all of our Music Mondays staff roles. If you are a writer, journalist, curator, designer, you want to do anything for the Music Mondays staff team when it comes to short form content, long form content, you want to do YouTube stuff with us, that's also fine as well. So again, we are recruiting and trying to get a few more staff members in before the end of 2025. So make sure you tell your friends. And of course, we do have a 2025 staff role guide on the Music Mondays YouTube channel right now, where I kind of break down all the staff roles in a little bit more detail. I talk about your content, your schedule, and things like that. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Let's see here. So, outside of recruiting, let's talk SoundCloud exclusives. So, outside of the album that we're curating right now, Music Mondays is on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. Again, if you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays SoundCloud and across all of our social media for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email, because we are looking for unreleased tracks. And again, feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards. You want to go put it on DSPs, you want to go, do a music video for it, all that's fine. We're only interested in the SoundCloud version. And same goes for YouTube as well. If you have an unreleased music video, you have an AMV, you have a lyric video, even if you just want some audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of over 300 subscribers, and of course promoted across all of our social media for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Again, we're only interested in unreleased material. So that's that. Let's see here. What else do we have to go through? We got Dry My Eyes in chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Welcome on in. Drop it. We are so dropping that. Yeah, we have a heater in the vault. We definitely have a heater in the vault. Yep, expect some good stuff from Music Mondays and Dry My Eyes for sure. Definitely. But let's see here. So that's pretty much everything super major. We did recruiting, we did exclusives, we did weekly recap stuff. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week. Let's do one last thing, and that is community feedback. So again, per usual, it is a new month here at Music Mondays. So in December and every month, we do community feedback, where we kind of give you guys the opportunity to speak your voice, really, and let us know what you want to see on Music Mondays. Because of course, we do have a pretty filled out roadmap at the moment, but we always want to hear from the community when it comes down to the show. when it comes down to Music Mondays in general as a platform, maybe website stuff. Maybe you're like, yo, you should interview this person, or maybe you should talk about this on the podcast, whether it be tips and tricks or, stuff on bots or playlists or anything like that. We have a lot of videos up on the channel right now at the moment, but I wouldn't mind going back and rehashing a lot of the older topics. And then, of course, if I am not qualified to speak on it, we'll definitely bring someone on the show that I think would be qualified to speak on it. So again, if you want to see a certain topic discussed here on the show before we get into our reactions and reviews, definitely let us know. And this is community feedback number, I think, 30 for December. So this will be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Definitely let us know in the comments, or send us a tweet, send us a DM, send us an email on what you'd like to see here at Music Mondays. And of course, like I said, it'll be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe. We do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Well done. Well done. W community feedback again. New month, my friends. New month. Let's get into it. So, it's about that time. Let's hop over to Twitter and let's see what we have for submissions. So, per usual, submission tweets are always in the same format every single week. The only thing that does change is the date. So again, make sure you keep that in mind, and double check the date. Make sure that you're submitting for a show that hasn't happened yet, right? Because we still get submission tweets and things like that from shows that happened, months ago or years ago, actually. So again, the only thing that does change in the date, and they'll always read: artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on December 8th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/StomPlays, which is here and now, obviously. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. Obviously, things from vocals to instrumentals to acoustic covers to real covers to remixes to photography to videography to music videos. So you name it, and we've probably reacted to it. So again, if you feel like you want some spotlight here on the Music Mondays podcast, feel free to drop your links and portfolios below. So, outside of that, we do have a 3-hour show limit. Again, one could argue that a 3-hour show is still a little bit long, but definitely not as long as some of our older shows where we used to hit up, upwards of like 5-6 hours, which is just fucking crazy. But, again, we do have a 3-hour show limit, so keep that in mind. And again, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Again, submissions are always free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But like I said, the only thing that we do ask is that you're following us on Twitter before you do submit. Not only does that help grow our platform and spread our message, but you do pay respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. And then, of course, you gain access to a whole wonderful, wide community of very, very talented creatives. So, kind of a win-win, right? Outside of that, Patreon subscriber submissions are played for us every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be the basic, advanced, or premium tier, you gain access to a whole bunch of goodies. But also what you do gain access to is what's called the Music Mondays Fast Pass. So again, for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon, you gain access to what is called the Fast Pass, and that allows for all of your submissions for the duration that you're pledged to be played first every single week here on the show. So again, you're played before everybody else, you're played at the height of viewership, and then when people go and watch the VOD back, you're also one of the first submissions that people see. So, pretty good advantage there. But again, no pressure, definitely not required. Outside of that, submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. Again, we are a live show, so we like to keep things free flow and make sure that all of our submissions are, set and ready for the show. So again, a good rule of thumb is that if the show is already live, definitely submissions are closed. But again, we do tend to close them at least a couple hours before the show starts. But again, you do have about like 6.5 days to get your submissions in, so plenty of time, obviously. But like I said, we are a live show, so we like to keep the submissions organic and make sure that we do close them before the show starts. But outside of that, I think that's pretty much everything that you need to know about the Music Mondays podcast, my friends. If you want any more details, we do have a how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, where I kind of dive into things in a little bit more detail. I talk about the lore of Music Mondays, how we ended up taking submissions on Twitter, why the podcast even exists, and things like that. And I'll be doing another one of those for 2026 as well. So I think that'll be sick. But definitely go check that out if you want any more information or lore on the Music Mondays podcast. So outside of that, let's see how many Patreons we do have tonight, my friends. I am curious. So we got TDG. So we're kicking off with TDG first. We got the homie Drama Eyes. We got Jordan. And then we got Ghost. 4 Patreons tonight. You guys are showing out. Let's fucking go. Let's get it, baby. I saw Drift out looking like he about to research snow patterns or something. Yeah, no, literally, it might as well, bro. It's like I think it's like 15 degrees outside right now. So like when I got to smoking shit, it's the worst. Actually, the worst. Feels like fucking, I don't know. Your body just like freezes up. You know, it's crazy. But like I said, we're kicking off with TDG here, a very, very talented hip-hop artist, has been on quite the single run as of recently. They're improving each track. You know, they're really going onto their way to, like, perfect their craft here. And TDG's been killing it recently, so I'm excited to see what we got. Proud and Informed mixed by me, featuring White Sosa, Ric Flair, woo. Okay, I'm down. Pop it over a new tab. I'm going to assume this is, like, relatively new as well. Let's take a peek here. Yeah, December 7th. This literally dropped fucking yesterday. That is very hot off the press. Okay, I'm down. Let's get into it. TDG, Ric Flair, woo. Shout out Ric Flair. When they see me walking, they like Ric Flair, woo. When they see me walking, they like Ric Flair, woo. When they see me walking, they like Ric Flair, woo. They like, who is this dude? He gon' shoot and swoosh up cameras on the news. Keep it new. Sorry on heads, they like what's new. Ric Flair, woo. Do what I wanna do. Fuck the rules, fuck you, your crew, grandmama, sister, and nephew. That's fine. Damn.
Like a bitch say, Roo, call me daddy, Ric Flair. Say you want beef, then it's up in the her.
Oh, shit.
Thank God every day, send them a prayer.
Holy shit.
Hop in that can, I swerve like the lane. Say that she love me, I don't feel the same. Say that she love me, she must be insane. She really a smart ass, give me that brain. Doing a show and I make your whole faint. Now they be mad cause I do what you can't. Baby, gon' drop it. Baby, gon' drop it. Hey.
Bro, spazzed on that. Holy shit. Again, the production is out of this world, too. Really good fade out as well. Shout out White Sosa, man. That was a crazy feature. That was a crazy fucking feature. You know, I like these two as a duo. I'm not gonna lie. You know, the TDG features are, I wouldn't say rare, but when they do come around, I feel like they always like mix really well with each other. You know, and I just think that's just because TDG is like a very versatile artist when it comes down to like collaborations like this. You know. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Ric Flair, woo. I'm sweating outside. Yeah, no. Probably best TDG track I've heard. Fuck with it. Yeah, no. TDG's recent single run has just been fucking gnarly, 100%. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna talk about 3 things. Talk about the instrumental. Talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Ric Flair, woo. So instrumental again. TDG, just as a producer alone, like take away the vocals, TDG's production is just crazy. Like really, really fucking crazy. They know what they're doing when it comes down to their DAW. And you know, this is another one of those instrumentals that's pretty high up on my list, and it's not trying to do too much. It's not super experimental, but it is bouncy and it has like a really, really interesting structure, you know? So that's what I really like about it. But the mix is great. Nothing like super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would like ultimately switch up on this one, to be honest with you. Not really a shocker, right? You know, usually TDG's mixes on Their instrumentals and the tracks themselves are always really solid anyway. But this one in specific is definitely crispy for sure. Definitely has a crispy kind of sound to it, 100%. So instrumental mix definitely on point. Like I said, not really a shocker, but something I always want to point out for anybody new here, right? Um, so instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. I mean, there's a lot to like about this, truly. Um, you could, mm, you could really say drums. I think the melodies work well. But truthfully, it was a no-brainer once we got to the end that it was the structure. Definitely the structure for sure. The structure is just it's very creative, but it's also not trying to do too much, right? And it keeps the beat very consistent, but it always switches up when you're least expecting it, which I found interesting. So definitely structure for sure. Great mix, genuinely. Yeah, no, facts. TG always evolving, 100%. Completely agree. Um, so instrumental shining star, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, a very interesting vocal mix, but I wouldn't say it's like a step backwards for sure. I think TDG is getting a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more creative with how they engineer their vocals, right? So that's why like a lot of these songs you see this like trend of TDG just really cleaning up their mix, giving better takes, whatever it is you're doing in the studio, it's working. So definitely keep on this direction for sure, 100%. But as far as like the levels and things like that goes, um, nothing super crazy or anything that I would like really tweak out about. I thought levels and quality was solid too. Um, so vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. Um, I thought the lyrics were like fun and creative, right? Definitely more of like a braggadocious kind of style. But I think for both of them, I'm gonna have to go with flow and cadence and delivery. It was just fun. It felt like a summer song, something that you need to like switch up the mood when it comes down to like December, especially like over here on the East Coast. This felt very summery to me. So I thought that was fun. But I think flow and cadence and delivery for sure, 100%. I think flow and cadence and delivery. Yep. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics, Ric Flair Woo. This is a crazy ass cover, actually. Holy shit. It's like one of those covers where like the more you look at it, the more detail you see. It's like you're just finding like more shit. But TDG's always got creative covers, man. Definitely. For a single, definitely works, especially for Ric Flair Woo. Definitely. So aesthetics on point. Hmm. Overall theme. Um, you know, realistically, it's a relatively obvious theme, right? Ric Flair Woo, kind of in the Ric Flair kind of braggadocious era, right? But the thing is like it just has that good summer feel, and I think TDG fucking nailed it. If I'm gonna be quite honest with you, it just has like a fun summery kind of feel, So well done. This single run recently from TDG has just been really insane. So well done. Huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow TDG on Spotify, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow TDG on Twitter as well. They're only 4 followers away from 160, so make sure you go show them some love in the bird at my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube below. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. Even if you're just liking the videos, viewing the videos, we appreciate you over there on YouTube, my friends. Yeah, we got a ghost DDG in the chat, huh? He's just lurking. Well done. Like I said, the single run from TDG has been really fucking solid. So, glad to see that progress. But our next Patreon of the night is the homie Drama, is a multi-genre talented artist. Came through with a unreleased SoundCloud track here. I'm down. It's been a couple weeks since we heard from Drama Eyes, so I'm excited to see what they've been cooking up here. Pop this open a new tab. Let's get rid of these spaces. Bada bing, that one, and that one. Perfect. Oh, let's fucking go. Music Money submission, Drama Eyes, The Cure 2. Got the prods and the credits, okay. Mixed mastered lyrics, Drama Eyes, mostly done mixing. Double prod on the beat. We got lyrics and description. We love that. Okay. I'm down. Holy shit, this cover is really trippy to look at. That's a really sick cover. Wow, that was alright. Yeah, we totally gotta talk about that cover. That cover is crazy. POV, your eyes are wet at one point in time. Let's get into it. Dry My Eyes, unreleased, Music Money's premiere, The Cure 2. Go. That's fire. Oh my. Holy shit. Wow. Holy shit.
Daily, my heart aches for every day. I learned that honesty berries green. Her lies at my wallet so bare green. You can't grow on it, so plant the trees. You can't grow on it, so plant the seeds. You made your life just a fantasy. I worked so hard, made an hour to answer me. Made my nose runny, made my help a Hennessy. I'll go get rich from my game, plus a match for me. I just said, this is upstairs, I just grants for me. They blow their chances, so
holy shit.
I put my fist in the bottom, so candidly, success ain't real. If we ever came down, we would let it free fall. If we ever came down, we would cross the street. You say, climb to the fake, my heart is real. I promise you, stay so long. Love in this game is a fortune split, but it's blood full of flames from the time turns on. My face even dry, got the confidence.
What the fuck? Sample's fire. Great fucking fade out too. Well done. Nice long fade out too. Holy shit. Holy shit. Well done. Holy fuck. There's a lot to talk about here. Also, I'm making with a producer next year. Can't. Oh yeah, that'd be sicko. I'm down. Chakra, welcome on in. Happy Monday, my friends. Submissions are currently closed, but if you want to submit for next week's show, submissions open every single Tuesday, so make sure you follow us on social media. Going to talk about what direction we want to take it? Yeah, not for sure. For sure. Wow. This was gnarly. This was fucking gnarly. Much to discuss here. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So this was filled with so many emotions, man. Like this took you for a ride. This is like the definition of like a roller coaster, for sure. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, we're gonna talk about the overall theme of The Cure 2. So let's see. Instrumental mix, again, fantastic. And before we dive into the mix there, the curation and the choice of this beat is very interesting, right? Because like I think I said this before, but um, this is an instrumental that not a lot of artists could like see themselves on, and depending on like their styles and whatnot, you know, this is a very difficult beat, and Dry My Eyes fucking bodies it, like absolutely fucking bodies it. So I like the choice, definitely. It's very well curated. It's like a very specific type of style. Um, so yeah, back to the mix. Again, fantastic. Nothing I would like ultimately switch up on this, to be honest with you. Try My Eyes has been in the studio like crazy recently, especially like when it comes down to mixing and engineering and things like that. So, as far as the instrumental goes, I don't really have any gripes with it, to be honest with you. Levels were good, quality was good. Still had that like grit to it, but it's very like crispy as well, you know. So, I didn't mind the mix at all. On the instrumental. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, I love the samples, but I feel like that's just me being biased, right? Um, but I think the melody is partially responsible for the mood that this track brings. It's a very moody kind of track, right? So I think, to be real, I think we're gonna go with the melodies here. I feel like the melody was just fucking gnarly. I mean, drums are up there too, right? Drums definitely bring like the grit. I like the structure, but I think the melody brings a lot of the mood for sure. So we're gonna go with melody on this one. Instrumental solid, definitely melody. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. Again, I've been a huge subscriber and fan of Dry My Eyes' vocal mix, and like I said, they've been kind of spamming the studio recently and practicing their engineering and getting better at mixing and things like that, right? So when it comes to this mix, I really enjoy it. I love the grittiness of it, but it's also very like crisp, clean, clear. Levels were good, especially in like some of the more like emotional parts, right? Where it was almost like leaning towards like screaming, right? It was still really clean, like really really clean. And sometimes those vocals are weird to mix like that, but I think Try My Eyes did a really good job here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I'm a fan of the mix, to be real. Like I said, it just has that good gritty style to it, right? But it keeps it crisp, it keeps it clean, and I think the levels are like really on point. So no real gripes when it comes down to the vocal mix. Definitely not. Definitely not. Um, Vocal Shining Star. The amount of flows and cadences in here are fucking nuts. I think that was a big choice for me at first, but even kind of like thinking back on it though, like the lyrics are pretty fucking crazy too. You know what I mean? Like the writing and lyrics are like really nuts. Um, it's so like it's a mix of feelings, you know, because it's like so honest, but it's still very like specific, you know. Like this is one where it's pretty easy to put yourself in the POV of Dry My Eyes, right? So that's what I really like about this. I think I don't know, man. I think writing and lyrics are definitely up there. You know, I think mm, flow and cadences throughout the whole track are nuts too. Like it's really, really like insane delivery. Oh, this one's tough. Mm, guess flow and cadence and delivery. I mean, because the lyrics wouldn't be like as impactful if Dry My Eyes wasn't like as serious, in their delivery. But I think the flow and cadence and delivery is taking the cake here for sure. But you could argue either one. So instrumental solid, definitely melody. Vocal solid, definitely flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Love this cover. Um, the way it's edited is it's almost like it's like what do you call it? It's like a visual kind of thing, right? It's almost like the more you look at it, the more detail you see. Because at first I didn't even see the face shot in this because like I'm too busy like looking, at this kind of cleaner side, and then like the background here, right? And I'm like, wow, this kind of looks like a fucking rock or something, right? And I'm like, wait, no. And then you see the eye, and you're just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So it's one of those covers again. The more you look at it, the more detail you see. So I like this one a lot. I definitely like this one a lot for sure. So aesthetics absolutely on point, especially for a single like this. Yeah, no doubt. Simple but very like visually pleasing for sure. Um, Overall theme, The Cure 2. I mean, for unreleased, um, this is one where I felt like, again, you really get put in the POV of Dry My Eyes, but also in like a few different ways, right? Because I mean, song's just about 3 minutes. You take out the samples, you could probably get it down to like 2:30 or something, right? So when it comes down to uh, like 2+ minutes, you feel so many emotions. There's anger, there's sadness, there's happiness, there's um a little bit of like high level shit too. Like it's very interesting the way it like makes you feel multiple feelings throughout just one song, you know, which is pretty tough to do sometimes. So I think Drama Eyes fucking nailed it when it comes down to this. It's just one of those songs where it immediately sucks you in and you have to listen to it start to finish. 100% you have to. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Drama Eyes. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow him on SoundCloud as well. They're only 4 followers away from 100. That's a W fucking milestone. Of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. Lots of good cat memes and music and all that good jazz. They're only 6 followers away from 60. So make sure you go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. If you already have, thank you. Huge shout out to Chakra. Welcome to the streaming family, man. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Let's see. So, that was our second Patreon tonight. That was a crazy fucking submission. That was quite the emotional journey there. Well done. Cat meme expert, literally. Lots of good cat memes over there. But our third Patreon of the night is the homie Jordan, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, has been on a run in 2025. Projects, collaborations, full lengths. Like Jordan has had a crazy last half of 2025 for sure. But they sent an unreleased track titled Salt and Pepper off of their latest project, the Overlook. Overlook full EP, actually. They'll drop later this month, I believe. But let's see. So this is Salt and Pepper. I like the name. I don't know why. I love the name for some reason. All tracks written and produced by Jordan, art by the homie Michael Monago. Again, love this cover art. But let's get into it. Jordan, Salt and Pepper, let's go. Love the guitar, man. Like, Jordan's been killing it with this. Beautiful intro. What a crazy intro. Whoa. Wow. Wow. I love the structure too. Like, it's so creative. Having that long intro and then like another like instrumental style like outro. Wow. This one is another big ball of emotion for sure. Wow. I love the outro too though. Wow. That was great. Holy shit. Well done. My lord. Sorry to interrupt, but have I gone? Yeah, no, you were actually the first track tonight, TDG. Yes, that was actually Guess. But the VOD is up right now, so if you want to go rewind the stream, you should be able to do that. But no worries. Um, I'm back. Let's get it, Ghost. So this was nuts. Again, another like heavy emotion-filled track here for sure. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're talking about three things. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. We're talking about the overall theme of Salt and Pepper. So, instrumental. Again, I love how like 50% of this track is instrumental, like the intro and outro, and then like the crazy verses in um the middle. So, but that's one thing I'm like a huge. I'm like big on this one for sure. The structure is just on point, and creative too, right? But hmm. So instrumental mix, fantastic. Again, like I would say, when you're dealing with a lot of like live instrument based instrumentals, sometimes the mix is 50-50, man. Sometimes it's very easy, and sometimes you're like mixing the same fucking key for like 4 hours, and you're like, bro, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? So, but the mix is good, quality was good, levels were good. Jordan sounds good on it. It's a very creative vocal mix as well. But as far as like just the instrumental goes, no gripes here. Definitely no gripes, especially with how instrumental based this song is, right? Instrumental Shining Star. Gotta be the structure. I love the drums too. The drums are like very subtle and chill. But still keep up that good like bounce, you know? But easily the structure for me. The nice long instrumental intro, right? I think it's like for the first like, I'd say like 50 seconds or so. And it's really, really solid. Like it grabs your attention, It really, really grabs your attention. So I think Instrumental Shining Star is definitely a structure. Although the melodies are up there too. I mean, the guitars are just fucking gnarly. But I think the structure made this very enjoyable. It was almost like a story. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again. Jordan kind of like diving into the more gritty rock style mixes, right? And I think they're really onto something. And the more that Jordan does this and records vocals in this style, the better that they're gonna get at mixing it and things like that. But as far as like levels and quality goes, nothing that I would like ultimately switch up. Um, Nothing that like really kind of tweaked me out or anything like that. Especially like when it comes down to like the more unconventional Jordan style of vocals here. Um, but again, they've proven over time that they can really rock with like any style. And I was just talking to Jordan about this the other day actually. Um, it's one of those things where if you dive into a different style and then you go back to like your main style, you're always gonna come back with something new, maybe like even a fresh sound or learn something or X, Y, or Z. So switching up styles and genres is always a plus. Definitely always a plus. So vocal mix solid, quality is good. Nothing super crazy on the levels or anything that I would like, really switch up. Um, Vocal Shining Star. Um, hmm. You know, the writing is up there, but if I'm gonna be real with you, I think the flow and cadence and delivery was so interesting, and I want to hear Jordan kind of like dive into that sort of style more. So for this one, I think I'm gonna go flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Um, but you could argue writing and lyrics, but I think flow and cadence and delivery for sure is up there, definitely. Um, so let's see, instrumental solid, Definitely the structure. Vocal solid. Definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Kept that gritty kind of feel to it. Let's talk theme. So, aesthetics. Um, Again, Michael coming back with these crazy ass fucking pieces, bro. And, we reacted to this, I think, last week. But simple but very effective in it. And it has that, like, abyss, sort of like infinite falling kind of feel. You know what I mean? Um, know how like when you're dreaming and you dream that you're falling, but you're just like falling forever, or you like roll off like your couch or bed or some shit. That's what this reminds me of. But for an EP like this, especially like something titled Overlook, absolutely nails it, 100%. Michael's insanely talented, bro. Well done. So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, salt and pepper. So, probably a little bit more of like a subliminal, more personal song for Jordan, but also like if you relate to it, great. But if not, it's one of those ones where you just enjoy what's being played in front of you, and you're just like, holy shit, you know what I mean? So, um, I wouldn't look super deep for a theme for Salt and Pepper, but it's definitely probably more a little bit of a subliminal theme for Jordan here on this one for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only 10 followers away from Hondo. And make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter as well. They're only 3 followers away from 410, a W milestone, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure to go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. TDG, I did answer you after Jordan's submission stopped. But yeah, no, the VOD is up right now, so if you want to go watch that, you absolutely can. He kind of hit the dab though. Yeah, no, literally, a little bit of like a old school dab. But that was great. Huge shout out to homie Jordan, man. Up next is our last but certainly not least Patreon of the night. Homie Ghost, a very, very talented multi-genre producer, came through with some unreleased gas again. I'm down. Let's go pop open the Dropbox. Let's see what we got here. Alrighty, my friends. Song 6, 144 BPM solo beat. Down. Let's get into it. Some unreleased Ghost. Oh shit. Oh shit. We're going super trap, hey? Oh fuck. Whoa. Holy fuck. The pauses are crazy. Wow. Oh my. Some final boss shit? It really does, too. Wow. This one hits. Holy shit. Really what Ghost does best, to be honest with you. Bell's great. Wow. My God. Well, the little fade out too. Everybody's been hitting the good fade outs tonight. What the fuck's up with that? That's crazy, man. Well done. Holy shit. Real, I'm good at everything at this point. No, literally, like we've seen it here on the show personally live. Like we've literally reacted to it live. We've seen it. We've seen literally just about everything. Um, but this was great. This was fun. This was like very bouncy, but like I think Drama Eyes put it really well. It's a very like evil style. Um, so I think Ghost definitely nailed it with that. Everything matches up really well. Like the sound selection's mint for sure. Yeah, exactly. Drama Eyes, right, right, exactly. Um, so obviously no vocals. We're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of this unreleased Ghost track. Pokemon boss type of beat. Yeah, no, literally Pokemon meets trap. But okay. So instrumental mix again, fantastic. I love the 808s here. I think the 808s really, really shine on this. Levels were good. Nothing super clashy or too overbearing or anything like that. But again, the 808s and the drums really shine, and everything like it may seem like there's a lot going on, but there really isn't. Like everything really has its own space. So that's why I'm a big fan of this instrumental mix. It's just crisp, clean, mint. It's right where it needs to be for this style. 100%. I wouldn't even touch this mix ever again. This is real mint here. Um, so instrumental mix solid. Again, not really a shocker. Ghost a very consistent producer when it comes down to their mixing, but something you always want to point out for anybody new here, right? So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I like the structure a lot though. Like the pauses are crazy and it just cuts. It's so crazy. And then it drops back in. Um but I my gut wants me to say drums too though. Um the melodies are fun as well. I think the melodies bring a lot of that boss type feel that um I feel like we're getting. But hmm, just the first 808 that hits in this song is just like it's like a nuke, bro. It's crazy. I think we're gonna have to go drums on this one. I think we're gonna have to go drums for sure. And then even the hi-hats are nuts, like I think we're gonna have to go drums for sure. Again, you could argue melody or structure, but I think drums, definitely. Um so instrumental solid, definitely drums. Obviously unreleased, so no cover art yet. But again, I feel like Ghost did nail that kind of like evil sort of vibe, but it's not like too bubbly, if you get what I mean. It has a good like stern feel to it, and I think the drums help with that too. The drums definitely make it a lot more meaner, for sure, 100%. A nuke, yeah, no, literally goes like a fucking nuke. Like that first 808 is crazy. Um, but yeah, I think Ghost definitely nailed it when it comes down to this like OG style of trap, but it sounds very, very modern. The sound selection I think was really on point on this one too. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge, huge shout out to the homie Ghost. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter, by the way. They're only 4 followers away from 550, so make sure you go show them some love with the bird at my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Monday's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on this channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Well done. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patreons tonight, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. Huge shout out to the homie TDG, Jordan, Drama Eyes, and the homie Ghost. Thank you guys for your submissions and becoming a Patreon member. You guys are wonderful, man. Shout out to everybody over there on Patreon. But we're going to go top to bottom here and start with the rest of our community submissions. First up would be the homie Deezit, but we did react to this in episode 200 and 53 last week. So definitely go check that out. This was a fucking banger. Really good New York vibes. And huge shout out to the homie Deezit. Feel free to resubmit tomorrow with something that we have yet to react to, my friend. So, let's see. Up next is the homie Marco Pernice. Now, Marco Pernice, a very, very talented instrumentalist and producer, came through with a track titled "Funk You." I feel like I've heard that before. like I don't know why. Funk You. So I assume we're gonna get some like real OG funk here, are we? See what we got. All right. Let's give it a quick pause, Rooney. Go like 720 is fine. Make sure we go full volume. All right, let's get into it. Marco Pernice, Funk. Oh yeah, we're really bringing the funk. I can already tell. 5 years ago too. Holy shit. Okay. Hmm. Wow. Perfect funk vibe. I think he nailed it. To be honest with you. Okay. Another good fade out. I think everybody had good back-to-back fade outs tonight, which is crazy. But well done, my friend. Well done. Definitely nailed the funk vibe. I mean, That's kind of what I expected from a track titled "Funk You," right? I kind of figured, but Marco definitely nailed that good like early funk. It definitely give that like good '70s disco funk kind of feel. So well done. No vocals here, so we're gonna talk about two things: talk about the instrumental, and talk about the overall theme of "Funk You." So, instrumental mix definitely solid, especially for something that's 5 years old, right? Sometimes when you go back and listen to some of your older tracks, you're like, "Oof, that mix could be a little bit better these days." But no, definitely not. I think Marco did a really good job with this mix. Nothing like super clashy to overbearing, or nothing that I think needed to be changed, right? Especially like with this type of style, I don't think anything really needed to be switched up there at all. So let's see. Um, Instrumental mix solid. Um, Levels are good, quality's good. Nothing to really like to gripe about, right? Um, Instrumental Shining Star. Um, the sample usage was great with the vocal samples in there. I thought that was really solid. Um, but I think full Shining Star here. Um, Probably has to go with the melodies. I feel like the melodies really fucking brought home that funk vibe for this for sure. So I think melodies shined here a lot. Definitely, definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. So the Funk You cover is simple but straight to the point, and I think yellow is like pretty like well associated with like the feeling of funk, because like yellow is kind of like happiness and X, Y, or Z, right? So I feel like the yellow was a good choice, and then of course you have these shapes, and then Funk You, and then Marco Pernice in there, especially for like some of these like older covers. It's cool to go back and take a peek. So aesthetics definitely on point, especially for a single. Um, hmm, Overall theme, I mean, relatively obvious theme, right? Funk You, a very accurate and modern take on funk, and I think Marco fucking nailed it, for sure. It brings you straight into the the fucking club. 100%, it brings you straight to the club. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Marco Pernice. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go subscribe to Marco's Topic channel over here on YouTube. They're only 10 subs away from 40. Of course, make sure you go follow Marco Pernice on Twitter as well. They're approaching 1.5K on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So we're about halfway through the show. That means we are about to take a quick commercial break. So make sure you go get up, go walk the dog, go for a smoke break, go get a drink of water, maybe go to get a snack or anything like that. And when we return, we're gonna dive it right back into the rest of our community submissions, my friends. So don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast, episode 254. Hope you all had a good break, but let's get right back into the rest of the community submissions. Let's go. We left off with the homie Marco Pernice. Up next would be the homie TDG, but TDG is a Music Mondays Patreon, and we've already reacted to submission earlier in the show, so definitely go check that out and go see our reaction to Ric Flair. Woo. Following TDG is the homie Braden, a multi-genre talented artist, came through with a track titled On a Cloud. First track off the album. Whole thing on all plats. Let's fucking go. Yeah, Braden, again, another artist who's had a stellar 2025, especially like the later half. They've been cooking for sure. So I'm excited to see what we got here. Track 1 off the new project. On a Cloud. Excellent. 7 days ago, brand new, hot off the press. Let's get into it. Braden, On a Cloud. Let's go.
Like I'm chilling on a cloud, bitch, I'm floating.
Holy shit.
This shit never bore. I've been chiefing on a blunt, I'm so high, I'm soaring. She my Lil Wayne bitch, cause I paid a milli for him. I'm a sipper, but I'm never fucking pouring. I got so many things in my life more important. Well, my dogs, my Zah, my songs in my phone, bitch. She been steady blowing on my phone, leave me alone, bitch. Well, I can't ever understand your thoughts. This shit got me at a loss, now I'm feeling really lost. Know you said that you fell off, but I still brought you along for the ride. Still can't believe that you ain't staying by my side. But it's okay, life is like a trip, we drive away and then we meet again. If we don't, that's fine, that's why our memories are kept away. Either way, I look back and wish that I lived in those days. We live it either way, this shit a fucking game. Back
wow.
in old times, that's what they made for. Been trying to move on to step to what I hate for. I'm just trying to cop a small house, I don't need 8 floors. Every day I keep on working, then get paid for it. I feel like I'm chilling on a cloud, bitch, I'm floating. My life like a movie,
Wow.
This shit never boring. I've been chiefing on a blunt, I'm so high, I'm soaring. She my Lil Wayne bitch, cause I paid a milli for him. I'm a sipper, but I'm never fucking pouring. I got so many things in my life more important. Well, my dogs, my Zah, my songs in my phone, bitch. She been steady blowing on my phone, leave me alone, bitch.
A straight anthem. Wow. That's a good way to kick off a project. Well done. Well done. That was crazy. Reminds me of like a good anthem, you know? Little secret sample at the end. That's crazy. Wow. Holy shit. This is such a like a mature sounding Braden on this track. It's crazy. And it's like mature in the sound aspect, right? But also it's like what a way to kick off a project. If this is the first track off a project that I just randomly found, 100% would be playing the rest for sure. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're talking about 3 things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of On a Cloud. I love the cover for this project as well. But instrumental. What an instrumental choice. But again, Braden kind of took this and ran with it, especially like with the flow and cadence and everything. But as far as the mix goes, nothing that really tweaked me out or I had any real gripes with. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that like really needed fixing. You know what I mean? So, I think the instrumental was damn near perfect, to be honest with you, especially in regards to the mix. Levels were good, quality was good. Nothing I would like, really gripe about. So, instrumental makes solid, instrumental shining star. Uh, hmm. It'd be a crime to not say structure, if I'm being real with you. I think the structure really takes the cake here, especially with the intro and outro, and then Braden just bodies it. Yeah, I think structure kind of takes the cake here. You could argue drums or even the melodies are up there too, but I think the structure here definitely fucking nails it for sure. Tells a story. You know what I mean? So, um, instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, a very solid Braden style vocal mix. Pretty much what you'd expect from a normal Braden track, right? And with that being said, levels were good, quality was good. Nothing I would like switch up. Definitely not. Definitely not. You get a little bit more of like a raw rap style Braden here, which I think is really sick. Because it's even tagged cloud rap as well, which is a term I think people need to use a lot more. So, outside of that though, no real gripes with the vocal mix. Definitely not. Definitely not. Nothing like super clashy, too overbearing. Drums cut through nicely. Braden sounds nice on the instrumental, so nothing that I would like really switch up here. Um, vocal shining star. Hmm. You know, that hook is pretty catchy. That hook is definitely up there. But the writing in general was very like from the heart. It had a good like anthem feel. So I think writing and lyrics overall take the cake here for sure. Braden definitely wrote his ass off for this. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely structure, vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Like I said, I love this cover, especially with the light coming in through the window. And then Braden kind of added in the blue kind of hue, which I think really works well. Because this is one of their like OG styles, and this one gives a good like cloud rap kind of feel, like hidden project. But it sounds very mature. So I think the aesthetics are absolutely on point. Um, especially for a full length project for sure. Um, hmm. Overall theme on a cloud. There's a couple ways you could take this song, right? It's definitely like a song for the homies. Talking really about like how life goes with certain shit, and Braden definitely got honest here, and that's what I think is gonna pull people into this project. Especially with this being the first track on the project. It's like, dude, you know what I mean? So, um, I think Braden did a really good job with this one for sure. It's some of the most like mature sounding Braden in terms of sonics and the hook, the structure. So well done, my friend. Huge shout out to the homie Braden. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow Braden on SoundCloud. By the way, they're only 6 followers away from 390. And of course, make sure you go follow Braden on Twitter. They're only 9 followers away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love over there in the Bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you show these artists on the channel some love, please. Get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. Much love. Let's see here. So we left off with the homie Braden. Up next is the homie Sam's Raps, a very, very talented hip-hop artist. Came through with a track titled Dirt Under the Nails. Proud the homie Uggy. Something I'm working on. Okay. And we got a little untitled link here. I'm down. Yeah, so Sam's Raps recent submissions have just been fucking insane. Between their side content and their unreleased and, all sorts of things. They've just been like, really cooking up in the background, So the next few things from Sam's Raps that come out are probably gonna be fucking gnarly, for sure. But some unreleased Sam's Raps, Dirt Under the Nails, Proud Uggy. Let's go.
Yo, hey, muddy fingers from the dirty working. My bitch says she need a bag for her, a bag that she can serve the working. My latest purchase was the Gator Birkin. Cold-blooded murder verses that don't care the sacred ancient curses. Compton, Nathan Burton, my favorite language service. You not an accident, then why you never state your purpose? I win the race reversing, switch the plates and skirting. I'm digging dirt until the underground can break the surface. Not gonna simplify the verbs, check the OED. Defenestrate the opposition from they window seats. Eat your coldest raps for breakfast like they Jimbo Deans. You microwave the product, we prefer the low, slow heat. He's an amalgamation
motion made of quotes from old commercials. They out of angles, motherfucker, cause I closed the circle. When I'm working with a loop, you know I wrote in cursive. They asked for 10, I gave them 10. The score is sorta perfect.
Wow. What the fuck? What a dark track. Well done. Oh. Wow. I really like the vocal mix on this too. I feel like the vocal mix is absolutely really, really solid. But this is what I mean, bro. They have some stuff stored up that is just gonna be crazy when it drops. It's gonna be fucking crazy. So well done. We're gonna talk three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk vocals, talk about the overall theme of Dirt Under the Nails, obviously with it being unreleased, work in progress. Instrumental Prod-Uggy, fantastic. It's a very Sam's Rap style instrumental. It has a very dark tone to it. It has that good, like, dark hip-hop feel, you know? Like, really, really dark. And, it starts with the instrumental, really. And, the mix is great, though. Nothing that I would, like, ultimately switch up with the instrumental mix. I love the sound selection. It's a very gritty sound selection, too. I feel like everything kind of complements each other. But yeah, no like super gripes here when it comes down to the instrumental mix. Not really a shocker, right? A lot of the Sauce Gang crew has a very, very solid mix, so not really anything to, be shocked at, but definitely something you always want to point out in case you're new here, right? But definitely a very consistent instrumental mix across the board. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, I feel like the melody was up there for sure, but as I like let it sit with me a little bit more, I feel like the drums were awesome. The drums were fucking great. So I think we're gonna go with the drums here for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again. That's one of the first things I noticed. I like this vocal mix a lot. Of course, with it being a work in progress, I'm sure Sam's Raps wants to do a few more things to this, but I like it. to keep it a whole buck with you, it's gritty, it's clear, it's crisp, it's clean. Levels were good. Nothing that would like really switch up. Of course, like there's small stuff that they'll go back and fix later, but for where it stands in a work in progress, I like the vocal mix a lot, and it pushes that kind of like reverby kind of feel too, and then with the effects throughout the song, it's just enhancing the vocals even more. So I like the vocal mix definitely. So vocal Shining Star on the other hand, Flow and Cadence and delivery's up there. I really like the Flow and Cadence and delivery. But I think writing and lyrics have to take the cake here. There was a couple lines where I was just like, I like had to do it double take. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, I think writing and lyrics take the cake here. I think someone said it in chat last week. I think it was like Doc or somebody. Sam's Raps is just an insane writer, and this is one of those ones that kind of proves that. But so instrumental solid, definitely drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, obviously unreleased. So we have this little candid photo here of the homie Sam's Raps getting ready for the winter season here. But aesthetics definitely on point, especially for an unreleased. Overall theme, Dirt Under the Nails, though, I feel like this is gonna come out really crazy. I don't want to speak super deep on the theme yet, because this is one of those ones where I want to revisit when it officially drops. You know what I mean? But it does have that good like grave, evil, dark hip hop kind of feel. You know what I mean? But not like super corny dark. It's like really like dark and gritty. So I think they did a fantastic job on this. Well done. Well done, my friend. Huge shout out to the homie Sam's Raps. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter, by the way. Sam's Raps is approaching 1.2K over there on the Bird apps. Make sure you go show them some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channels some love, baby. Let's get it. You already have. Thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Up next would be the homie Drama Eyes and Jordan, but they are both currently Music Mondays patrons, so we've already reacted to them earlier in the show, so make sure you go show them some love and check out the beginning of this week's episode. So huge shout out to the homie Drama Eyes and the homie Jordan. Up next is actually a very, very talented multi-genre artist by the name of Most Dope came on, and they released a recent project titled 2P, and I think we reacted to just the first one last week. So let's see what we got here, because this project's, again, it sounds very mature, and the first track on this project was like mature Kimon, and they seem like they went above and beyond for this one. So I'm kind of curious. And again, another artist who's had a stellar 2025 as well. Yeah, Styling Myself was sick. Styling Myself was definitely sick, for sure. All right, I'm down. We got the homie Most Up came on with a full length project titled 2P, and we're on track 2. Beat is a little less. Shit, I'm down. Let's pop it open a new tab. This is gonna be interesting. Oh man, Music Mondays feature artists. Let's fucking get it, baby. Let's get it. So yeah, let's see here. Just go 720. And then again, 9 days ago, so hot off the press. Still relatively new. So let's get into it. Beat is the last. Most Dope came on. Let's go. Yeah. Damn. Well done. This was great. This was fucking great. Again, you know, it almost gives like a good summer vibe. Like everything from this project so far, the first 2 tracks just give off like such a good summer vibe. I won't lie to you. It really, really does, especially like with the cover, and like the first 2 songs are just so fun. They're bouncy, they're a little bit braggadocious, but it's still very like, loose. So I think Kimon did a really good job here. Again, you can see the maturity and like their improvement in all angles. From like maybe 2, 3 projects ago. You know what I mean? So they are progressing, which is really sick too. Really just refining their style and like really sharpening that sword. Definitely, definitely. This plug and B, definitely, yeah. Plug and B or plug and B adjacent for sure. Kind of like a mix, right? Like plug and B, it's like plug trap kind of. But yeah. So we're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Bees of Last. Again, just a fun song, definitely one of those songs you could like throw on at a party, and I think that would definitely go jumping for sure. Um, but let's talk instrumental. So I love the choice. Again, it's a very Kimon style instrumental. But it reminds me of like the 2010s, like early like trap too. You know what I mean? It really does. It has that reminiscent kind of flavor to it, right? Maybe like 2015 era, something like that. But it's a very classic choice and a very good choice for Kimon. So I like the instrumental choice here because he knew that he would sound good on it. Um, Instrumental mix, absolutely solid. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would switch up. Especially the drums. The drums really fucking shine here. Um, and the sound selection's up there. Everything kind of stuck with each other. Levels were good. Quality was good. Nothing I would like really switch up with the instrumental. Definitely not. Instrumental shining star though. Definitely the fucking drums. That's why I was like, holy shit. Again, once that first 808 hits on this one, it's like super booming. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be sick. And plus, I'm just like a biased fucking sucker for drums anyway. So yeah, I think drums take the cake here for the shining star, especially the 808 for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, a very solid vocal mix from Kimon. They even got like a little bit melodic here in this track, and I thought the mix was on point. Again, lows were good, quality was good. Kimon has a very specific mix that they're very consistent with, so I wasn't shocked that it was very crisp. Something you always want to point out for anybody new here, but I wasn't shocked that it was very crispy. And again, like a lot of the small stuff mattered, right? Like the ad libs made a difference. Like there was just small shit that I was picking up on that I think Kimon did a really good job with. So vocal mix definitely solid. Vocal shining star. Uh hmm. Probably writing and lyrics in general. I do like the flow and cadence and delivery, but I think the writing and lyrics like gave me that summer feel for some reason. But I think writing and lyrics for sure. Or flow and cadence and deliveries up there too, though. Uh, yeah, let's go writing and lyrics on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Gives a good like summery vibe, party vibe, right? Um, so let's talk theme, aesthetics. I spoke a little bit about the 2P cover last week, but I'm gonna just say it again. I like the simplicity of it. I like this idea. It's very eye catching and it makes you wonder like what could be packed in this project. You know what I mean? And Kimon does really well with their covers. We've seen all sorts of styles from them when it comes down to their covers. So um I think this one is perfect for an EP, 100%. Especially just the 2P flat text in the middle. I thought this was great. Simple but very effective, perfect for a project. Overall theme, Bees Little Ass. I mean, Bees Little Ass. It just has that good summer feel to it. And Kimon speaks on quite a few things when it comes down to like their life and their movement and how they're pushing. So when it comes down to this one, I just got like a good summer vibe, especially when I consider style myself too. Like the first two tracks on this project are just fun and bouncy and like they're good like party tracks too because they really knock. You know what I mean? So well done. Well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Most Dope Kimon. Make sure you go sub to their topic channel on YouTube. They're only 2 subs away from 10. And of course, make sure you go follow Kimon on Twitter as well. They are 8 followers away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love in the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So let's get it, baby. Up next would be the homie Ghost. But Ghost is already a Music Mondays patron, so we reacted to them earlier in the show. So definitely go check out the beginning of episode 254. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious, a multi-talented artist, producer, engineer, designer, writer, editor, all the above. Offspring has been killing their YouTube channel recently and just fucking going all out with unique concepts and new ideas and new edits. And this week we have a video titled Sleepalized? I almost thought that said sleep paralyzed. Sleepalized. Holy shit, that's a fucking word. Sleepalized. Holy shit. Alright, let's give it a quick pause here. Go 720. Bro, I did not know that was him on Twitter. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Yeah, he's very low key on Twitter. Yep. We got some Offspring Mysterious up in this bitch. Let's get into it. Sleep Alive, Offspring Mysterious. Let's go. He's just paralyzed. Bro's about to get cracked off the coffee. The Gucci face mask is crazy. We're just typing away. Oh shit. The fuck? Pretty good fall. The hoodie, classic. Like an Offspring trademark now. Whoa, look at the bed. Huh. Like, what the fuck? Huh? It's actually a sick photo, I won't lie. There we go. Pass out on the counter. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that's so real. I just had something the other day.
I can't laugh, honestly, this the only option. Paralyzed, stuck inside the dream, it's too often. Medicine, hopes in the air, and I lost it.
Goated cereal? Definitely.
Awake, I feel nauseous, but you feel the same when you see me losing conscience. I don't have to change, I don't got this. Is there more to see? That's what God is. I don't have to change to feel right. Every day we stay the same, more than we wanted. Looking through the broken glass, room feels haunted. I don't wanna stay awake, I feel exhausted. Then I set the lines up, then I cast it. Stars looking bright, but I'm still burning out. I wanna leave soon, I just don't know how. Can I keep my mind up?
Holy shit.
Put on my soul, I wouldn't keep it out.
Really solid shots, too. I like a lot of these shots. Just passed out. I know Offspring made music. Offspring is indeed a music producer. But they'll do edits like that to like other people's music from time to time. Somewhat like music video practice, if you will. And the guy just crossed the street in the back. Like, what the fuck? I thought that was him. No, 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 no. The first song was just the instrumental. Those Nikes are sick. What the fuck? Those are actually hard. Love that mural in the background too. Bro needs caffeine. Like, yeah, sure. Where's he going? He's like, what the fuck? Nope. That probably hurt. That definitely hurt. That was gold. That was so good. What the fuck? That was fun. That was fun. Wow. Yep. Paralyzed by Ard Eyes. You got Jay Fur. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Hope all is well. Yeah, this was crazy. Well done. You know, Offspring, again, has been leveling up their YouTube content in so many different ways, right? Like, tying in the story with, like, a music video edit in the middle is always, like, so creative to me. I thought that was genius. You know what I mean? But Shining Star here, I do like the editing a lot, but I think the concept, because, like, the montage in the middle is crazy, because, like, you could argue editing here, but I think the concept of, like, taking a song and, like, structuring it around the Walking Onslaughts kind of universe, and then kind of dipping into, like, a music video style edit in the middle, I thought that was genius. You know what I mean? Like, Offspring is really, like, going out of their way to, like, you know, improve their content and kind of, like, do different things, right? And like I said, I think Shining Star here is probably the concept. I'm not gonna lie, the whole concept and story, definitely solid. Definitely solid. No one expects the Gucci mask under the TV ad. Yo, no, literally, you're not kidding. Well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Offspring Series. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel. They're only 6 subs away from 250. It's a W milestone. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Series on Twitter as well. We're only 6 followers away from 820. So make sure you go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Our last submission of the night is a very, very, very talented artist by the name of Filter. Now, it's pretty rare that we get a Filter submission, you know, every now and then. We actually interviewed them in, I think, 2024. The interview is live on the Music Mondays website, so definitely go check that out. But Filter, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, came through with Baby Girl on SoundCloud. I'm down. Pop it open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. We got their maybe they aren't going by Filter anymore. Maybe they're going by Pipsqueak now. We'll have to confirm that. I'm sure when they see this, they'll definitely let us know. But let's get into it. Pipsqueak, Filter, Baby Girl. Let's go. How do I know what that sound is? Oh, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be gnarly. Wow. What the fuck? Wow. Holy fuck. Wow. 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 Holy shit. What the fuck? Jesus. Wow. What the fuck? What the fuck did we just witness? Holy shit. Well done. That is crazy. I meant to submit for night. Oh no, you're all good, bro. Submissions will be live for 2:55 tomorrow afternoon. So, just keep your eyes peeled for that. Yep, this is good. Damn, this is wild. Cloud Scene is alive. I agree. Um, we get a lot of these like special hidden artists, and Filter, aka Pipsqueak, is definitely one of them. And this is just good lord. Um, Everything about this was like on fucking point. You know what I mean? So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of a baby baby girl. So instrumental is just fucking phenomenal. Obviously prod by them as well. The instrumental is just crazy. It's such a blend of so many genres, right? Tagged alternative rock, but also it has that cloud feel. It has a little bit of like an electronic kind of fast paced feel. You know what I mean? So wow, wow. It's just a big genre blend in here for sure. But the mix is great. I love the grittiness of it. I love how it leaves in a lot of like the raw emotion. Like it's a very emotional instrumental, I would say. So no real gripes here. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Sound selection was good. Structure was fucking amazing. Nothing that I would like really switch up on this one, especially like with knowing like how much time they do spend on their mixes. I feel like this one's like mint, like really mint. So instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. It got to be the structure. The structure itself tells a fucking story, 100%. I think drums and melodies are up there, but I think the structure is just like, you know what I mean? The fucking structure's up there. So let's go structure on this one for sure, just because it tells a story. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, fantastic, especially like in the hook and like throughout the song, it's switching up and it's just like what the fuck, like the mix is really solid. And again, nothing like super clashy or too overbearing or something that I would like switch up. Um, Especially the hook. The hook is really gnarly. You know what I mean? The hook is fucking gnarly. So vocal mix definitely right where it needs to be. Levels were good, quality was good. Nothing I really had a gripe with. Um, Vocal shining star. Oh man, probably the flow and cadence and delivery. How everything was delivered and performed here was just nuts. especially the hook. You could just feel the raw emotion, you know. So flow and cadence and delivery for sure, definitely flow and cadence and delivery. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, flow and cadence delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Love this cover. Love this cover. Um, the faded kind of like look to it, but also like the more you look at it, the more detail you see. Again, sometimes these covers are very eye catching, right? But this one was very much on point. I feel like Filter definitely fucking nailed this one, 100%, 100%. Especially for a single, right? Like so many colors, and you know, it just kind of lines up with like how many emotions this song makes you feel. You know what I mean? So I feel like the color palette was very reflective of this song for sure. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme, baby baby girl. Shit, we've all been there, and then if you haven't been there, you will be there eventually in life. You know what I mean? Going through breakups of any kind is never easy, right? And I've always found that like, you know, that's why music and art is there, so that way like you can like cope with a lot of these emotions that are overwhelming sometimes in like a healthy way. You know what I mean? And that's why music is therapy, literally. You know what I mean? So instead of crashing out or anything like that, you just put all your feelings into a song, and nobody could ever tell you otherwise. You know what I mean? So it's definitely one of those songs, just raw, pure emotion. And somebody out there is definitely going through this, or they definitely already have. You know what I mean? So, um, quite the story here, though. Definitely quite the story. And not only lyrically is it emotional, but you can hear it in the delivery. 100% you can hear it in the fucking delivery. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Filter, aka Pipsqueak. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only 2 followers away from 310. Of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're only 9 followers away from 40. So make sure you go show them some love there in the Bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Let's go. All right, my friends. That concludes all of our submissions for episode 254. Let's give some shout outs. Let's show some love. Close her out. Let's talk about what's coming over the course of the next week or so. Let's get into it. So, first off, huge shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you. We appreciate you. Even if you just lurked and chilled. Much love. Huge shout out to. Let's see. We had some heads in here, huh? Huge shout out to the homie Ghost, of course. Huge shout out to the homie Dry My Eyes. Huge shout out to the homie Chakra. Huge shout out to you. Welcome to the streaming family. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Huge shout out to the homie J-Fur. And like I said, anybody else that lurked and chilled. Oh, and TDG as well. Much love, TDG. But yeah, like I said, anybody else that lurked and chilled, we appreciate you. We love the lurkers around here. So no worries, but again, per usual, massive shout out to everybody that did submit tonight. We had quite the lineup of submissions. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patreons. The homie TDG, Jordan, the homie Drive Eyes, and the homie Ghost. Thank you guys so much for being supporters over there on the Music Mondays Patreon. And huge shout out to everybody else that did submit tonight. The homie Deezit, Marco Pernice, TDG, Braden, Sam's Raps, Drive My Eyes, Jordan, Most Dope Kimon, the homie Ghost, Offspring Mysterious, and the homie Filter, aka Pipsqueak. Much love, and thank you for all of your submissions. You guys are fucking wonderful. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can submit for next week's show tomorrow. Submissions will be live sometime in the afternoon on December 9th, 2025. So if you'd like to submit for episode 255, those will be live tomorrow. Have a good night, man. I got you, my friend. Much love, Jay. Thank you for stopping by on me. Much love. So let's see here. Outside of that, this episode will be live tonight on Patreon over there. So if you want to go download it or anything like that, and record it, that's also cool. And then this will be live on all audio platforms this Thursday, and then YouTube this Saturday. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And per usual, you can stream the Music Mondays podcast on all audio platforms, anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good jazz. And then, of course, we're over there on YouTube as well. And then per usual, make sure you follow Music Mondays on your preferred social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, Tumblr, wherever you're at, we're at. So make sure you go follow us on your preferred platform. Then, of course, I stream like 5-6 days a week. So we're always doing some speedrunning jazz. some watch party stuff, some YouTube sub stuff. So make sure you come through and kick it with the kid during the week. And then, of course, I'll be live tomorrow per usual for a regular stream, and then we'll be live next week for episode 255 of the Music Mondays podcast. And of course, you can follow, subscribe below, everything linked below, all of our socials, all the good stuff is linked down below. It's your boy Zom Slays. I love you all. Take care. Be safe. And this was Music Mondays, episode 254. Let's get it, baby.